Hello and welcome to Comosys Learning Tutorials. In this video we are going to learn about creating detailed 3D rebar model, generating rebar drawings and reports for a simple RCC building in Comosys. Let's start by modifying the default grid lines. Simply double-click on grid lines, which brings us to the grid editor window. Now, edit the grid spacings by simply adding the grid spacing for X, Y and Z axis. We can also control the display of each grid levels about Z-axis using the checkboxes. Let's keep the level 1, which is finish floor level, in this model. Now, let's go to the concrete menu and edit the default RCC column properties. In this window we can change column shape, size, concrete strength, usage and many other properties. Now let's click Apply and place the column at desired location. We can further modify the column height and bottom level simply by double-clicking on it. Now, copy the column to other locations just by using the Copy command in right-click menu. User can find several useful tools and commands in right-click menu. In the next step, let's create footings. Open the Formwork category of Macro Gallery and then expand the footings to find the various macros related to substructure. Right-click on Pad Footing to open the default settings and edit footing sizes, levels, rotation, material grades and various other settings. Click Apply and start creating footings just by selecting the desired column. Footings are being created with the default settings. Footings can be further modified individually or in groups. Subsequently, we will create RCC beams. Let's open the default settings of beam by simply pressing the Shift on keyboard while left-click on beam icon. In this window we can change beam shape, size, concrete strength, usage and many other properties. Click Apply to save the settings as default. Now, start creating the beams by clicking Start and End of the beams. Let's copy all the beams to first floor level. Let's create columns of first floor, just edit the column height and click Apply. Please note that all other settings still remain same. Place the column and start copying the column to desired locations using Copy command in right-click menu. Also, we will copy the first floor beams to second floor level. Now, we will create views as per grid lines. Simply select Grid and click on Create Views on Grid in the right-click menu. Let's open the plan at level 7000 mm in list of views from the Model Explorer. Now, let's create RCC slabs. Click on slab icon while pressing Shift button on keyboard, which opens default slab settings window. Edit the slab thickness, levels and grades. There are various options are available for user to edit in this window. Now click on slab icon and create slab by selecting 4 corners. Let's copy the slab to rest of the places in the floor. Now, we will create the slab at first floor level. Open the plan at elevation 3500 mm and create slab by selecting 4 corners. And copy the slab to remaining places. Now, we will create opening in slab for staircases access. Open the slab opening settings by clicking on the slab opening icon. Modify the size of the opening as per the requirement and click on Apply. Now place the opening in the slab by selecting it and then select the desired location. Let's turn on the opening's visibility by clicking on Cuts Visibility in Visibility menu. As we can see, the opening is not in the right place. Let's move the opening by simply selecting it and use Move command. Let's create a clipping plane by clicking on the Create icon in View menu. This is just to get a clear view for creating a staircase. Now, click on Staircase macro from the macro gallery and select any 2 points on screen to specify the orientation of the staircase. Double-click on Staircase to open the properties and edit the landing elevation of it. User can predefine or modify the sizes of treads, risers, staircase slab thickness, width, top and bottom elevations, grades and many other settings in this properties window of staircase. Next, we will create second flight of staircase by repeating the same process again. We can use Alt+R in keyboard to measure the distances. Let's adjust the landing length to match with connecting landing. Let's move the staircase to proper location by activating Move command. As we can see, the staircase is merged a bit into the beam. We will move the staircase to avoid this clashing. Now, we will create supporting beams for staircases at first floor level, finish floor level and at mid-landing levels. Let's change the size of the beam for staircase. Let's create a sectional elevation for staircase using View by 2 points in View menu. We can also rename the view. Let's delete the clip plane by simply select and delete it. Now, let's start creating the rebars in the model. There are a wide range of macros for rebar detailing are available in Comosys. Every macro has several options to control the rebar parameters to match with the many international standards. Let's start rebar detailing with footings. In the macro gallery under the reinforcement category, open container rebar macros to find single footing reinforcement macro. Simply right-click on it to open default settings, and modify according to the requirement. User can modify the concrete cover, top and bottom main and secondary reinforcement, diameter, spacing, height, material grade, rebar edge details and many other options. User can save the settings using macro presets and use in future to save time. Simply click on Apply to keep the modified data as default. Now, let's click on Footings macro and select any footing, and then select the direction of main reinforcement. We can see the reinforcement is created for footings with the required settings. Let's use Copy to another object command in right-click menu to copy rebars to remaining footings easily. Subsequently, we will create rebars for columns. Let's open the default settings of column rebar by simply right-clicking on Polygon Column Reinforcement macro. User can modify the concrete cover, main reinforcement data, stirrups data, diameters, spacing, material grade, rebar edge details and many other options. Let's load predefined macro preset to save time. As we can see, column reinforcements are created with user set data. Also, we can notice the long reinforcement has been properly extended and merged inside footing, and also edge bend has been created. Now, we can repeat the same process, or use copy to another object command to create rebar for remaining columns in the model. Let's create rebars for first floor columns. We will just load preset and start applying it to first floor columns. As you can see, rebars with proper lap system has been created. We will create rebars for rest of the first floor columns in the same way. In the next step, we will create rebars for beams. Let's open the default settings of beam rebar by simply right-clicking on beams on axis reinforcement macro. This macro will be used to create rebar for one, or more beams continuing in single axis at one time. User can modify the concrete cover, main reinforcement data, lapping of bars, stirrups data, diameters, spacing, material grade, rebar edge details and many other options. Let's load predefined macro preset to save time. As we can see, beams reinforcements are created with user set data. User can repeat the same process, or use copy to another object command to create rebar for remaining beams in the model. Now we will create rebars for first floor beams. Let's select first floor beams alone and click on Show Only Selected option in right-click menu, and then we will generate rebars using same macro again. Let's create rebars for roof beams. Simply select same macro and keep applying it to the roof beams. Let's also create beam rebars for staircase beams at finish floor and mid-landing levels. Now we will create rebars for staircase. Let's open the default settings of staircase rebar by simply right-clicking on stair reinforcement macro. Let's load predefined macro preset to load common settings. User can modify the concrete cover, top and bottom main reinforcement data, spacing, material grade, rebar edge details and many other options. User can also edit the rebar data individually for each type of rebar sets. Simply click on Apply after finishing the rebar data settings. Now, just tap on Stair Reinforcement macro and select Staircase to create reinforcement for staircase. Let's create 2D sectional elevation view for the staircase. We will use View by 2 points command in View menu. This view will give us better understanding about generated reinforcement for the staircase. User can repeat the same process, or use Copy to another object command to create rebar for the second staircase flight in the model. User can also rename the view names for easy reference. In the next step, we will create rebars for slab. Let's select similar elements in Edit menu to select all slabs and then click on Show Only Selected in right-click menu to display only slabs on screen. Now, we will open default slab rebar properties by right-clicking on Slab Reinforcement macro. User can modify the concrete cover, main reinforcement data, spacing, material grade, rebar edge details and many other options. User need to click on Apply button after finishing the entry of rebar data. Now, just tap on Slab Reinforcement macro and select Slab, then select any 2 points for main reinforcement direction. As we can see, reinforcement for slab is created. User can repeat the same process, or use Copy to another object command to create rebars for the rest of the slabs in the model. As we have completed full modeling, and the next step for us will be the numbering the parts. To do the numbering, we will click on Perform Numbering icon in Drawings and Reports menu, which opens the default numbering settings window. As this is completely new project, we will select Renumbering All, which will give a fresh numbers to all. Click OK on the pop-up window and then tap on Close to finish the numbering process. Now, we are good to generate rebar and formwork drawing. Let's start the process by loading the default settings for rebar drawings. In the Drawings and Reports menu, click on Drawing Settings icon and then choose Rebar Drawing Setting option to open the default settings. Let's load required predefined setting to enable us to create drawings as per the settings. User can define drawings properties, control view scales and its display, locations of section views, marking settings, dimension settings, drawing sheet size and several other settings. It is advisable to user to prepare and save these settings in prior, so that the quality of drawings will be good enough for presenting and save lots of time in editing the drawings. In the first step of creating drawings, we will generate rebar drawings for footings. Let's select objects between planes to select footings alone and click on Show Only Selected in right-click menu. Now, let's click on Rebar Drawing in Create Drawings options, which will generate rebar drawings for selected footing automatically. As you can see, rebar drawings for each footings with sectional elevations, annotations, dimensions, material list with bar shapes and many other details were created automatically. Comosys can generate rebar drawings which mostly does not require any manual editing, or cleaning the drawings. Subsequently, we will create rebar drawings for beams too. Let's use Select Same Color Objects option to select beam alone in the model. Now, generate rebar drawings automatically using Rebar Drawings option in Create Drawings menu. We can see rebar drawings are being generated automatically. As you can see, rebar drawings for each beam with sectional elevations, annotations, dimensions, material list with bar shapes and many other details were created automatically. We will create rebar drawings for columns too. Let us use Select Same Color Objects option to select columns alone in the model. Now, generate rebar drawings automatically using Rebar Drawings option in Create Drawings menu. We can see rebar drawings are being generated automatically. As you can see, rebar drawings for each column with sectional elevations, annotations, dimensions, material list with bar shapes and many other details were created automatically. To continue further, we will create rebar drawings for slabs also. Let's use Select Same Color Objects option to select slabs alone in the model. Now, generate rebar drawings automatically using Rebar Drawings option in Create Drawings menu. We can see rebar drawings are being generated automatically. As you can see, rebar drawings for each slab with plans, sectional elevations, annotations, dimensions, material list with bar shapes and many other details were created automatically. Let's complete the rebar drawings by generating the staircase drawing also. Select two staircases and generate rebar drawings automatically using rebar drawings option in Create Drawings menu. Now we will create GA drawings. Press Ctrl D in keyboard and press F6 to open Drawings Manager. Let's create a drawing with the name GA and provide manual page sizes and then click on OK. Click close to see an empty drawing for us to import views. Let's import title block into our drawing. And copy title block multiple times using copy command in the edit menu to place drawings views in them. Let's generate drawing view of plan at elevation -1500, which is footings level. We can generate views from the already created grid views or any custom views available in the Model Explorer. User can choose to control the display of rebars in our drawings. Press Ctrl B in keyboard to open Drawings options. We will uncheck the rebars option from the list of several available options in it. Let's generate the drawings for the rest of the views in the list of Model Explorer. Let's generate part marks automatically for the members in the drawings, using Auto Viewport command in Annotation menu. Make sure to select the drawings views before generating annotations. As we can see, all the part marks for footings, beams, columns, slabs and staircases have been created very quickly and automatically. Let's generate dimensions automatically for the drawings using Auto Dimensions in Dimension menu. Before generating dimensions, we will just make sure about the dimension settings by pressing Linear Dimensions icon along with Shift button in the keyboard to open the dimension settings criteria. User can modify the settings to generate drawings as per the requirements. Make sure to select the drawings views before generating the dimensions. As we can see, all the dimensions in the plans and sectional elevations for grids, footings, beams, columns, slabs and staircases have been created very quickly and automatically. Let's now start placing our drawing views in the title block for presentation purpose. Simply select the view and move into title blocks. User may require to edit the information in title blocks. In the final step, we will generate rebar reports. In the Drawings and Reports menu, click on Material Takeoff icon and then select the Prepare Rebar Type List report from the drop-down list. As you can see, an Excel file opened containing the detailed rebar data which can be used for production, procurement and planning purposes. Let's create one more type of report. In the Drawings and Reports menu, just click on Material Takeoff icon and then select the Prepare Rebar Length List report from the drop-down list. As you can see, an Excel file opened containing the detailed rebar data. If you have any questions or clarifications, please do let us know. Thank you.